The famous French photographer Henri Cartier-Bresson didn't like big cameras. He didn't like big lenses. He used a small Leica M3 with a small Sumilux 50mm lens. And he said that if you come with a big camera, people will notice you. They will think that you're a show-off. It's like you're shouting because you're short of arguments, he said. But I don't feel that when I come with my camera, my lens, here. I feel that people have respect for me because they see that this is a professional guy with some heavy, serious equipment, right? And I like that. And it's true, I notice that some people lower their heads a little bit or turn around or even walk away from me when they see my equipment. But that doesn't matter because this is a 70 to 200mm f2.8 lens which I've turned into a 400mm because I put on a 2x teleconverter here. So even if people walk away from me, I can easily take a close-up of their nose if I wanted to, no problem.
I would not like to take a close-up of your nose. The only reason I could see for doing that would be to test the macro capabilities of this lens.
But let's say I swap this lens now. I don't want to be a paparazzi, right? So I put on this nifty 50, which is more or less like the lens that Henri Cartier-Bresson used. Then suddenly I'm this harmless tourist who wants to take photos of the Eiffel Tower and send the picture to his daughter. Yes, you're right. And yes, I know. Well, be quiet. Well, this tourist, yes, that's not me. I don't want to take photos of my cat or the Eiffel Tower. I don't want that. I'm no tourist, I'm a professional, right? So that's why I don't use this setup. I want the big lens, professional lens. So what do I want to film with this lens? I could take photos of seagulls, of course, but what I really want to is to film eagles, you know, lions, baboons, that kind of thing. But still, I have I bought a lot of other lenses, not only for wildlife, but for any situation, because you never know what turns up. And I bought so many lenses and tripods and cameras lately that I could start a camera shop. I could open Sony flagship store anytime, anywhere. If I'm going on a serious photo shoot, if somebody told me there is a two-headed gorilla out there in this or that jungle, or maybe there is a white tiger that I should film. Then when I go into the jungle, I would have to hire a bunch of porters to carry all this stuff because it's too heavy. I can't possibly carry it all myself. And these porters, they may scare away the wild animals. They're very shy, you know, these animals. So that worries me a little bit. I asked my wife, she's out there swimming, by the way. I asked her if she could carry my equipment. But she said no, she didn't want to do that. Actually, I don't like this field of view. Just a moment. I think I'll change the field of view, but don't go away. Now I'm going to film my wife while she's swimming out in the Mediterranean. I can see her out there. She's a very capable swimmer. Doris, is it warm? Yes. She nods, it's warm. Many people don't realize this, but the water in the Mediterranean is getting warmer and warmer because of the global warming. And now it's the Mediterranean is almost like the Red Sea now. You even have sharks. I can see a shark I can see a shark fin out there. Doris, be careful, there's a shark out there. Swim into the beach. Hurry up. I can see this shark fin, but my wife is a capable swimmer, as I said, so it's no danger. It's getting closer. I'm filming it now with my 400mm lens. He's getting closer. Hurry up. Be careful. He's coming towards her with open mouth. Doris, take this. Put it in his mouth. I threw her a pillow so that she could stuff the pillow into the jaws of the shark. Oh, it didn't work. Oh no. Now she's gone. Oh my God. My wife was eaten by a shark. I think she was eaten. She disappeared. Oh, this is so sad. I miss her already. What am I gonna do? This is so cruel, I'm speechless. I have the footage here, I filmed it all. Oh, what am I gonna do? This is terrible. Just terrible. Hello? Yes? National Geographic, yes? Yes, I saw this shark attack from my terrace, yes. Yes, I did film it. Okay. Well, that's splendid. 1 million euros? Yes. That's okay. I'll sign the contract. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye. Hello, my name is Jacobson, and I'm a wildlife photographer based here on the sunny, warm, not very windy Côte d'Azur. I'm currently working for the National Geographic. I just made some film about the shark attack out here in the Mediterranean. I would like to show it to you, but unfortunately I just sold it. So I'm waiting for the royalty now, 1 million euros. I'm sorry about that. I cannot show it to you. But I can show you my equipment, my professional equipment, which I have here. You know, when you are working with wildlife photography, you need a lens like this, for instance, if you want to film polar bears or tigers or sharks or eagles. I haven't so far filmed many polar bears, but I plan to go to the North Pole shortly, and then I will do my best. But I've been training, I've been practicing on seagulls and pigeons and sparrows, that kind of thing. So I'm prepared. I know how to do it. I have, if I want to film a sparrow, for instance, I can use the 35mm f1.4. I could show you some sparrow photos, but maybe you're not interested. And then, if I want a wider lens, I have this 1.8 20mm here, Sony also. And then I have the Sony size 55mm 1.8. And I have a Sony 50mm 2.5, another nifty 50. And I have a third 50mm in the mail. That is the 51.2, which I'm looking forward to. And you may say, why do you need 3 50mm? That is what we Norwegian call smør på flesk. In English, that would mean overkill, unnecessary. That would be smør på flesk. That would be butter on bacon. If you have 3 different 50mm lenses, then you have butter on bacon. That's true. And this camera, where is it? Yeah, my Sony A7 IV. Why did I buy this when I have the Sony A7C? The specs are almost the same. What is the difference? There's one difference you can see here. When I close the shutter, or when I close the camera, stop the camera, the shutter closes, and then there will be no dust on the sensor. You see that? That's a very good feature, and the A7C doesn't have that. Another thing is picture profile 11, which this camera has, which is supposed to give you a more cinematic look, as Cinetone film. I don't understand anything about this picture profile thing, but I use it. I put a picture profile 11 on this camera, and on the A7C I use picture profile 8, which is very flat. And that means, like if I want to film Smurfs, if I want people to be blue in their faces, then you can do it with S-Log3, because you can change the color in post. You can make people blue. And then if you don't know how to draw, if you don't know how to make a cartoon, you can just make a film and you can change the color into blue or whatever. Now I'll change the focus a little bit. I'll zoom in order to keep your attention. People today have an attention span like a goldfish, so you have to change all the time. Well, now if you want to take pictures of Smurfs, if you want to make a Smurf movie, you can turn people blue in the face with this picture profile. It's very easy, and that can be useful. If you don't know how to draw, but you want to make a cartoon, you don't have to draw. You can just change the colors into blue. I think that's useful, or maybe not. It's up to you to decide what you want, what you need. Or let's say you want to make a film about alcoholism, then you can make their faces red. You can change the colors so the people look swollen and purple. And then the viewer will immediately understand this is a film about the dangers of alcohol. For me, for instance, every time I open a new Belgian beer, I say to myself, Tom, you shouldn't drink more now. Luckily, my name is not Tom. And Doris out there, who was eaten by a shark, that is not my wife. My wife's name is not Doris. As a matter of fact, Doris, she is 99 years old. So I know it could be very dramatic and maybe you feel a little bit sad about this shark attack, but you know, if a 99-year-old lady goes out swimming and she's attacked by a shark and eaten, it's not as sad as if a 19-year-old girl goes out swimming and it's eaten by a shark. I just mentioned it. So you shouldn't feel too sorry about her. Now, I'm digressing. What was I going to talk about? Wildlife photography? I don't remember. Now I think that in order to keep your attention, keep you interested, I'll have to change the scenery a little bit, so I'll walk about. I'll walk around with my camera, my A7 IV, and with a lens that is in reality 16 to 35 millimeter, but on this setup with the active steady shot I'm using now, the lens will be cropped into effectively maybe 18, 19, 20. I don't remember how much the crop is. But you can see the active steady shot is making the footage quite stable. The only solution that is better than this one is something called the Catalyst Browse, which is a program that you can download from Sony's webpage. And if you do, you will be able to stabilize the footage in post. After you filmed it, you put it into your computer, and it's very slow and it's very demanding on a computer. You need a powerful computer in order to stabilize the footage, and it will also crop it even more than this. So in that respect, I think active steady shot is maybe better because it's faster and it doesn't crop that much. So what do you think? Now I'm going to change. I'm going to change to my A7C, which only has steady shot, not active steady shot. Let's see how that works. Now I'm filming with my A7C, and there should be no crop because there is no active steady shot. However, I think the stabilization will be much worse. And especially if I turn the lens around, and we'll try that now. Now I turned the camera around, and I have also turned off picture profile 8. Since I don't understand anything about these picture profiles, I think I'd better forget about them for now. The point is rather to find out how the stabilization in the A7C works, and it seems to me that this so-called steady shot is rather unsteady. Over there you have the roof terrace of my neighbor. I've been here most of the winter, but not once have I seen my neighbor. Perhaps he's hiding every time he sees me coming with my camera. Or maybe the sharks ate him. You could argue that these healthy plants on his terrace are a sign that he's still alive and kicking somewhere. If you look at my terrace, I have mostly weeds. But if I had any real plants, they died long ago because of COVID-19. However, here, you see there is a flower. What kind of flower? If you know, please tell me in the comments below. In the old days, that is before the pandemic, I had not only plants on my terrace, but I also had friends visiting me, and we were eating barbecue and drinking champagne on this terrace, and we used to sit on these chairs you see here. Now they've become rusty and dirty, stacked on top of each other. I even used to play tennis before the pandemic. You can see the tennis courts over there. I'm going to zoom in on them now. I used to be a member of that tennis club, but when COVID-19 came in February 2020, the tennis courts were closed, as if people could infect each other while playing at 10 meters distance outdoors. It was irritating, but maybe it's a good thing. You know, if you want to concentrate on wildlife photography and you have ambitions of becoming the next David Attenborough, you should not waste your time playing tennis. You should not take care of plants on the roof terrace. If you are a professional photographer, however, you would maybe note that the stabilization of this camera on the Sony A7C is not good enough. To me at least, it makes me feel slightly drunk and seasick, and it gets even worse if I zoom in with the lens. I'm looking at this footage taken with so-called steady shot, and it's not steady at all. It's unsteady. It's unusable. And I ask myself, why? Is there something wrong with the camera? Something wrong with the lens? Something wrong with me? Some user error? I don't think so. I think this is just garbage. I don't need it. Just a moment. It hit a car, a Lamborghini, a red Lamborghini convertible. What are we going to do? You tell me. Do you hear that? The police is coming. I have to wrap up now and go into hiding for a while. But thank you for watching. I'm sorry I couldn't share my beer with you.